So Laila, so you are half Kenyan and half Pakistani,
Yes.
and you have lived all your life in Edinburgh, right?
Yes.
And so how has your upbringing, like, been? So you've been exposed to the Asian culture as well, and what's fascinating is that you are also part of the local culture. And
Yeah.
has it affected you in any way, or?
No, well, yes and no, I would
Yeah.
say. I kind of don't see myself as anyone different in the sense of like living in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Or in my community. Like, although I feel like I know I look different,
Yeah.
that's just kind of on the outside. Like,
And you
for
were
me.
telling about your, I think you were telling previously about your upbringing from your mom.
Yeah,
who was a very strong character.
Yeah, my mom's a complete powerhouse. She was very kind of strict with me as well as my brothers, in terms of discipline when we were children.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like from my childhood now, when I think back on it, I feel like she's kind of ingrained so many life lessons already in my head.
Yeah.
For an example is like when I was a child, I wasn't allowed to get any Barbies. I didn't have any Barbies, and my friends, all of them had Barbies, and I was like, Mom, I just want to play with Barbies, and she was like, no, not getting it, we're not buying it. And now, like, not recently, in the last couple of years, I kind of asked her, I was like, why did you not let me play with Barbies?
Yeah.
And she was like, because they don't look like you. Like, I didn't want you to think that Barbie was this perfect girl because she has blue eyes and blonde hair, and she's tanned and she's thin, and it's not a real expectation of reality.
Yeah.
And she was like, I didn't want you to look at these Barbies and think, oh, well, I want to look like that. I want to dye my hair. I want to straighten my hair.
Yeah.
I want my eyes to be blue.
Yeah.
I want a body like this, or put pressure on myself. And to be honest, when I think of my childhood, I had a great childhood. It was awesome. Like, there was, I never felt ever self-conscious, or I ever thought about how I looked to other people. And to be honest, I don't care. I have no kind of issues with caring about what people think about me and how I look, if they're concerned about how I look.
So you're a very strong character.
Yeah,
you don't care about, like,
no, it's not about, to be honest, it's not really about
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's completely amazing.
Like, I wouldn't say I don't care, I just feel like I don't fall for the pressures, because to me it's irrelevant. I don't kind of bother with society's expectations.
That's
because
amazing.
Because this is my life, and I will do what I want to do. But even like films when I was younger, we watched, it was never kind of Cinderella or what's the other one, Snow White, or
like the fairest of them all.
Yeah,
and that stuff.
No. I did not.
No.
I still haven't, to be honest, I still haven't seen Cinderella. I still haven't seen
That's good.
Snow White.
Like, I mean,
I know roughly what it's about, but I've never actually seen the film. I've never seen Little Mermaid.
So have you been brought up with films, like Disney films like Pocahontas and
Pocahontas.
Aladdin?
Well, not even Aladdin. I think my mom, I did watch it once, but I think when my mom watched it, she was like, this is not the message I want my daughter to be kind of picking up on. And it's always about, like, oh, you are the damsel in distress, and you need to wait for a man to come and rescue you, and you kind of, like, your life is just kind of based on waiting around for a man to save you from your house. And that's I don't think that's a great message to kind of give to children. So I'm super, super grateful and happy that my mum didn't expose me to this kind of ideology about men and how women should look, these European features which I clearly don't have. So yeah, it's not the epitome of beauty. Like, my mum kind of brought me up and made me feel that I am the epitome of beauty to myself.
That's amazing.
You know,
that's
I don't.
really
You know, so yeah,
that's
like
really great,
she's really good in the way I feel like she's shaped me, like, and shaped my thinking and how I think. Like today, it's just it's great.
So how was your upbringing, being like from an Asian background, half Asian, half Kenyan background,
Yeah.
been affected in Edinburgh? So that obviously you were saying that you don't compare yourself to like
No, I don't compare myself
your
to
white friends or anything, and
no, I don't feel like you need to compare yourself or your life to someone else. I feel like everyone is in their own lane, and I mean competition is very healthy. But when it comes down to things that are irrelevant, like competitions about looks, that is completely irrelevant. To what life essentially is. I don't. No, I don't. I feel like I'm in my own lane and I'm focused on myself.
That's amazing.
I think that's really important, rather than kind of looking at what other women are doing. I mean, I look at other women and I'm like, wow, you're such an inspiration. But it's never over fickle things, like, or what's the word I'm trying to find? It's never over superficial things like how women look. I wouldn't compare myself to my looks to someone else, and I wouldn't want someone to compare their looks with me. You know, it's about being really comfortable in your own skin, to the point where you should be happy with how you are, and even how you think as well. Your mentality is important.
And I wanted to ask you about obviously you've seen Edinburgh change a lot, and I'm like not a local at all. I've come from India over here, and I feel this displacement because what's happening is that all my upbringing, all my values, all my Indian values, I'm carrying over to like Edinburgh, and I would love to know like your insight about Edinburgh, and like being a half Asian, half Kenyan, and I was just wondering like your experiences and how different was the city when you were growing up to now, because I would love to know that, because I would love like little tidbits from everyone.
Well, I feel there, I mean, I'm from Leith, so Leith, when I was a child, Leith was a very rough area, and it was kind of scary as well. There was kind of a lot of things going on that shouldn't have probably gone on. But now it's completely different, and I feel like this big influx of students has changed Edinburgh completely, and it's weird because it's in my lifetime. You know, it's like I've seen the change with my own eyes. And I would say it is a little bit scary. And I say but because I think it is great, because Edinburgh's become so much more diverse. Scotland has become so much diverse, and it's so important. Diversity is something that I always push for, and I'll always support, because everyone deserves to have life, and everyone has the right to live. But I really do that's what I love now about Edinburgh, is the diversity. There's so many different types of people, and it's just so interesting, and it's great, and everyone, with the people I've met who I would say are not necessarily white, I've found some sort of common culture with someone who's like Spanish, or someone who is Japanese or Chinese. When I've met them and interacted with them, I found a common culture thing that we kind of can recognize, which is great. It's so nice, because you're just like, wow, you learn about different cultures, and you never think two cultures are the same, but a lot of them are similar.
Exactly, because I feel like the cultures around the world, like South America, like Africa, India, like all these Middle East especially, they all push towards family togetherness. Like it was a huge thing actually. Like when I was in India, my dad enforced the rule that you have to switch off the TV, come
Yeah.
to the dining table, sit and
Yeah.
eat, right? But in Saudi Arabia, I found it completely different. It was a
Really?
it was amazing because they had a good balance of work-life balance.
Yeah.
So like everything will shut by 5 o'clock,
Wow.
like or 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you'd know like the 5 prayers in the hour.
Yeah.
So the whole of the country will shut down for the
Yeah.
5 prayers,
Yeah.
and they would give so much respect for family time, and
Yeah.
I loved it. Like, I'm a different religion, but
Yeah.
I believe in the good of all religions,
Yeah.
and it was so beautiful during Ramadan
Yeah.
because like what happened is after the last prayer, and if you're on the in a car and you
Yeah.
stopped at the traffic lights, little boys would come give you packets of dates
Oh,
and
wow.
biscuits and
Yeah.
not makbul, not mamul. I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mamul is like date filled biscuit
Yeah.
with a water with the
Oh,
small water bottles,
okay.
and I found it so
Sweet. Like
Sweet.
everyone, not even just
yeah. Not only
it's
like a particular
everyone,
religion,
yeah, everyone has that
and
togetherness.
I loved
yeah.
it so much, and
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was amazing. Like, we have this perceptions in our head that, oh, you know, like, this country's like that, this country's like, but then we don't actually, like, when we're actually in it.
Yeah.
Because, like, at first, when I went, I was afraid because I was like, I wasn't afraid. I was like, okay, it's a new country.
Yeah.
It's a completely
You
new
completely
country.
uprooted your life and moved.
Yeah.
And
And it was a democratic country
Yeah.
to a monarchy. It was
yeah.
completely scary. But then,
Yeah.
like, once I went there, I loved the people over there.
Yeah.
They were so friendly, they were so warm.
That's great.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
amazing. And sorry, I wanted to talk to you.
No,
with
that's
the-
totally
the
fine.
thing,
Like,
yeah.
no, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I do. I've never kind of uprooted and done anything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
with my mum being Kenyan, my dad being Pakistani, there isn't much culture
Yeah.
difference because they're both Muslim.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, there was Bollywood. My dad loved Bollywood. All Asian. It's like Bollywood is such a part of like Asian culture
Yeah.
as well. And my dad watched Bollywood films, but again, like, I didn't really take interest because I would look, and again, it's the
Aye.
damsel in distress, and
Uh-huh.
she needs to wait for a man, or
Yeah.
she has to wait until a man or anyone has to come and
Yeah.
rescue her because she can't do it herself. I mean, like, I can do it myself. You know, like, I've never. I think
Yeah.
it's just the mentality that we're taught that
Yeah.
we can't do it by ourselves, but we can. So again, I didn't really pay much attention. I'm not really a big fan of Bollywood. Like, I appreciate the kind of acting
Yeah.
and the hard work that goes into it because Bollywood films are like 3-4 hours
It
long.
is. Yeah, exactly.
And like the editing and all that thing,
it's
I
massive.
really, yeah. I really, really appreciate it, but it's not something that I kind of.
But
like,
the thing is that Bollywood films have come a very long way.
yeah,
Like, there's such really good female, like, at the top of, like, I can't think of one film at the top of my head. Medicom, that is Priyanka Chopra's movies.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's about a female boxer.
oh,
So
sweet.
there's so many, like, I feel like right now so many people are aware of the
changes,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
changes,
It's not
yeah.
like just one, like, what do you say, one entity that this is the only thing you have to like
Yeah.
focus on. There's so many
Yeah.
different things like women empowerment,
Yeah.
LGBTQ community, so many things as
Wow,
well.
I had no idea.
And,
That's
like,
great.
in India, I don't know if you know this film. There's this film, Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga.
Oh,
So that it's basically translation is when I see this girl, I feel something. So
okay.
it's actually that song.
yeah.
It's a Shah Rukh Khan song. I think
Yeah.
in the 1994, 1995. It's an old
Yeah.
song, but then they remade it in 2018, I think, and it's about Sonam Kapoor. I don't know if you know.
Oh, I've heard of
this
this
thing,
person, yeah.
and Sonam Kapoor falls in love with a lady. So like it's so amazing.
Okay, wow.
Like.
Yeah.
And like I would never have thought that Indian films would come
Yeah.
along that way. And I think last year they were celebrating the LGBTQ festival as well.
Amazing.
And it is so amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good that there's progress.
Yeah.
Like there's also progress in Edinburgh, but
Yeah.
in Scotland, but
Yeah.
there's also progress like back home as well. It's really important.
It's really beautiful.
important.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, thank you so much for
Thank
helping
you.
me out.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. Thank
Anyway,
you for having me.
I hope you're like calm
yeah,
and
I'm
composed
chilled
now,
now.
right?
Yeah. No, thank you. Oh.
Please.